Okay, good morning to all. We'll start discussing the question paper. Many of you have done well actually, but still some people are not doing very well. Right. So, the first question is the 26th actually. A length L of wire carries a steady current I. It is bent first to form a circular plane of coil of one turn. Then the same length is now bent more sharply to give double loop of radius, smaller radius. Smaller radius means you can understand that clearly. It should be R by 2 second time. Now the magnetic field at the center caused by the same current is how much? So for this, four choices are there. First, a quarter of its value unaltered, four times of its first value, and half of its first value. These are the choices given. We can clearly see that the formula here is, for the circular loop formula we have to use magnetic field due to a circular loop formula, for which we know that B is equal to mu naught. Number of turns also we have to include, because second time two loops are coming. So number of turns formula we have to use. So mu naught Ni divided by 2R. First time N is equal to 1. So B is equal to mu naught I by 2R. Since no numbers are given, we can keep it as such. This is for the first case. For the second case, B is equal to mu naught, same current is there, so I divided by 2 into, now radius becomes, double loop means R by 2. But now number of loops N is equal to 2. For the second case, N is equal to 2. So we have to multiply by 2 here, because N is in this formula, N is 2. So you can see that now this will become, even if you strike off these 2 and 2, it is 2 mu naught I by R, which is 4 mu naught I by 2R, which is 4 times the original magnetic field. So the answer for that is, among the given choices, answer 4 times, that is C, choice C or choice 3. So that is the answer for that. Right. Next question. A current I ampere flows along the inner conductor of a that is not co-aerial actually, it's print mistake, it is coaxial. Current I ampere flows along the inner conductor of a coaxial cable and returns along the outer conductor of the cable. Then the magnetic induction at any point outside the conductor at a distance R from the axis. It is obvious that same current is flowing in two different directions, that is opposite directions. So the magnetic field is going to cancel. So basically what is happening here is, you have a cable and two wires are there inside. So current initially is going, let's say, from right to left, next time it is returning. Now at any point, if you see the magnetic field, first due to the first wire it will be, let us say, pointing up out of the plane. Due to the second wire it will be pointing into the plane. So the magnetic field at the same distance will cancel. So B is equal to 0 is the answer for that. That is corresponding to choice 1. So for the second question, that is 27th question, the answer is 1. 27 is 1, 0. Right. The strength of the magnetic field at a point smaller near the long straight current carrying wire is B. The field at a distance R by 2 will be how much? So due to long straight wire, the formula is mu naught I by 2 pi R, or 2 pi A in our derivation. We use A symbol, A used, here it is R. So for a straight wire at any point, let us call this as R, distance R, the magnetic field is B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi R. Now when the radius, this is, let us call this B, when the radius becomes R by 2, then here there will be an R by 2. So even if you take it up, that will be 2B. Therefore your B now, or B1 let us call this, becomes 2 times the original B. So among the given choices, that is choice 2. So 28, the answer is 2. Now these are two circular arcs in the next question, 29th. You see that the magnetic induction at the center O, common center is there in this figure, and different radii are there because the arcs are different. Now what is the magnetic field at this point due to these two circular arcs? Now current directions are not given, we can assume any direction because of that. So if they are not given current direction, we can assume there are only two arcs. So how current has to either go from right to left or left to right. So this is how you can picture this. Let us name these points. Let us say AB, segment AB, CD. Two segments we can identify in this. And the current directions, let us say this is starting from A, like this, then it goes, then it has to be definitely opposite, then it has to be like this. Now at this point we want O, magnetic field at this point O. Now this is like a circular arc, two circular arcs, right? Now the first arc is a smaller one with radius R1. The second one is a longer one with R2 radius. Now magnetic field due to these two arcs. What is the magnetic field due to these two circular arcs? That is the question now. See, due to AC and BD, there are straight segments, AC and BD. So let us say this is AC. Current is going like this in AC, let us say. Now magnetic field along the line joining, because this is like a straight line, AC to O. O is here. AC to O is a straight conductor or straight wire. So in a straight wire, along the axis of the wire, magnetic field is 0. Similarly for BD also. BD is a straight line segment, and along the line joining that, along the axis O, B is again 0. So magnetic field due to BD is 0 at O. Similarly due to AC is 0 at O. So effectively we have to take only magnetic field due to AB and CD. These are the two things you have to take. Now the directions in this both cases are opposite, because AB is going to the right, CD is going to the left. Now if the same current I is going through these two segments, let us call this I, then which one will be having a magnetic field that is higher than the other? CD will have a higher magnetic field, because see, the angle subtended by both these arcs are same, and therefore even if you consider the currents to be same, then definitely CD is going to have a higher magnetic field. So effectively you have to subtract BCD minus BAB to get the magnetic field. So B is equal to BCB minus BCD, right? Therefore our formula for magnetic field due to a circular arc is mu naught I divided by 4 pi R into beta, right? This is the formula. In this, if you substitute the known things, you will get B is equal to mu naught I divided by 4 pi into R1. First case is R1. Of course beta will be there, and the second case is R2. So mu naught I current is same, beta by 4 pi R2. So common things, if you take out mu naught I beta by 4 pi, it is 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, 4 pi, right? So now if you see the choices here, the first choice is matching, but here you can see that clearly the angle 4 pi is missing and angle beta is missing. That means this has to be assumed to be not just an arc, it is a semicircle actually. That is why the pi here is cancelled and the beta is cancelled. So in none of the 4 equations, denominator pi is given, numerator beta is given, and our relationship here, whatever we are getting, is complete full relationship. Now assuming beta is equal to pi, you will get this pi and this pi to cancel. So choice first is the correct, therefore. So though the diagram does not look like a semicircle, we have to assume here that it is a semicircle, because among the choices angle beta is not clearly anyway given, so it is like a semicircle. We have to just extend this and semicircle, and the first choice is therefore the correct one. Right. 30th question. Field inside a solenoid is directly proportional to current, directly proportional to length, directly proportional to current, directly proportional to length, okay, inversely proportional to the number of turns, inversely proportional to the current. So it's a straightforward question only. Solenoid, they are asking what is the proportionality factors. We know that for a solenoid it is mu naught n I, where n is number of turns per unit length. So we can also write therefore B as mu naught capital N I by L. These two are equal formulas. Now we can check the question. It is directly proportional to current. It is inversely proportional to the length. It is directly proportional to number of turns, and no other thing can be taken from here. So if you see the choices, it is directly proportional to current is correct actually. It is directly proportional to length is wrong because it is inversely proportional to length. It is inversely proportional to total number of turns is wrong because it is directly proportional to the number of turns. Again, since it is directly proportional to current, it cannot be inversely proportional to current. So 4th choice also should be ruled out. So first choice is the correct one, 30th. So the first choice is 1. The choice 1 is correct. Right. Next question, another diagram is given. In the figure shown, the magnetic induction at the center of the arc due to the current in the portion is typed as portion AB will be A to B, B to C, C to D. In this they are asking magnetic field only due to AB. Already I told you, in a straight conductor, along the length of the conductor, magnetic field is 0. Because if it is the current direction, magnetic field is curling around like this. So in a straight conductor, therefore, at this point, B is equal to 0 along the axis. So for that portion AB, the answer is 0. So choice is 4, 31st. 32nd again. In the above figure, the magnetic induction at O due to the whole length of the conductor. Now we have to take magnetic field due to AB, BC and CD and add actually. But AB it is 0 already in the previous thing we have derived. CD also same way, D is 0 because straight conductor along the axis it is going to be 0. So the only portion that is contributing to the magnetic field at O will be BC arc, and that is a semicircular arc. Therefore we have to use the formula mu naught I by 4 pi small r. So for that portion we have to use the formula B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into semicircle, right? So pi. So your pi and pi cancels. So effectively we have mu naught I by 4r. This is the answer for that. I think that is given as mu naught I by 4r is choice 3. So choice 3 is the correct one. Right. In the next question, 33. The magnetic field B within the solenoid having n turns per meter length carrying a current I ampere is. We know direct formula this is. So the answer is mu naught Ni. This is the one. So it is n is small n is capital N by L. So since that is the choice given, second choice is the answer for this. Right. 34th. A current of 0.1 amperes circulates around a coil of 100 turns having a radius equal to 5 centimeter. The magnetic field set up at the center of the coil is. How much will be the magnetic field? What is the formula you will use for this? Anand, what is the formula for this? 34th question. Anand? Anjanaya? Anand has left the meeting. Very good. Anjanaya? Did you work out this? What is the formula for this? N turns. 34th question. Why? It's a simple direct formula application, right? That's why I told her all the problems in this magnetism, that is particularly whatever we are doing now, Biot-Savart law and Ampere's law, all the problems are based on application of formula mainly. You have to know how to apply the formula. That is the only trick here. Of course, you will maybe remember the formula, but you should know when to apply, what to apply. Now see, there are n turns here, right? So there are n turns, and it is a circular coil, and they are asking magnetic field at the center. So there is only one formula for this. That is mu naught Ni by 2R. So the formula to be used is B is equal to mu naught capital Ni by 2R. You have to just remember this formula. That's it. Circular loop. Immediately you have to remember what is the formula at the center, what is the formula at the axis. If the radius is R. So I clearly asked you to remember only one formula for all the whole thing. Even if you cannot remember this individually, with practice you will anyway remember. All it requires is practice for you. But I told you generally you remember this formula. V is equal to mu naught N I radius squared divided by 2 times the distance squared, that is this is x here, this diagram, plus the radius square again, power 3 by 2. This formula you have to remember. Now, because you cannot directly remember this, otherwise you have to directly apply this only. But I told for 4 things you can remember only one formula. This is the formula. Right. Now, what is given? Number of turns is given in this question. But at the center they are asking. That is, let us say O point here. Center. If it is O, x is 0. So you have to apply 0 here. So the formula will reduce to B is equal to mu naught Ni capital R square divided by 2 into 0 square plus R square is R square. R square power 3 by 2 is R cube. So effectively the formula will now reduce to R square and R cube I will cancel. So mu naught Ni by 2R. That is like this formula. You are arriving at this formula. That is why I asked you to remember these. From here you can go here again. If n is 1, you will get B is equal to mu naught I by 2R. Now n is some, I don't know how many they have given, 500 maybe, 100 they have given. But if they give only 1 also, directly n is equal to 1 you will apply, so you will get to this formula. Here also same. If n is equal to 1, you will write directly mu naught I R square divided by 2 x squared plus R squared power 3 by 2. So all I ask you is to remember only one formula, and this is the formula. For all circular problems, circular loop based problems, you will use this one directly. You don't have to remember all the four formulas. See, I have written 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4, all you are remembering is only 1. From there you can get anything. Along the axis at a point, you will use this formula. And with 1 turn, you will use this formula. For many turns, you will use the direct formula. Now at the center for n turns you will use this formula. At the center for 1 turn you will use this formula. Now you see what is the question here. A current of 0.1 ampere circulates around a coil of 100 turns having a radius equal to 5 centimeter. Now the magnetic field set up at the center of this coil is how much? That is the question now. So now Anjaney, you tell me which one of the 4 formulas you will use. Question, third one. See, Anjaney, again I am telling you, see, the current of 0.1 ampere circulates around a coil of 100 turns having a radius equal to 5 centimeter. The magnetic field is set up at the center of the coil. Directly they are asking center only. Now tell me. Center means O point here. See, n turns is given, right? First formula you have to use. See, n is given, x is 0, so it goes to first formula. If n is given, x is also given, third formula. If n is 1, x is 0, second formula. If n is 1, x is not 0, fourth formula. These are the 4 formulas you have to directly apply. So only one, if you remember, you can apply. So all you have to do is apply the first formula, mu naught Ni by 2R. Here I is 0.1, n is, capital N is 100, radius is 5 centimeter. So we have to use mu naught n I by 2R. This is the formula we have to use for P, which is equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7, that is mu naught constant, multiplied by the number of turns is 100 turns into the current is 0.1 I think 0.1 amperes divided by 2 times the radius is 5 centimeter, so 5 into 10 power minus 2. So whatever is the common things, you better try to cancel it. That is always easy. So 2 into 5 is 10. 10 into 10 power minus 2. So that is going to become 10 power minus 1. Now this is also 0.1 is actually 10 power minus 1. So this and this will cancel. Now this is 10 power minus 7. This is 100 is 10 power 2. So you will get 10 power minus 5. So the answer is 4 pi into 10 power minus 5. Magnetic field unit is Tesla. That's it. So check the answers. Answers are given as 4 pi into 10 power minus 5 Tesla, 34, right? So the choice is first choice. Directly answer they are given, right? 35th question, you see. A particle carrying a charge equal to 100 times the charge of an electron is rotating in a circular path of radius 0.8 meters. The value of the magnetic field at the center will be. This is what they are asking. So it is basically a particle going around a circular loop. 100 times charge of the electron the particle has. So it's a very simple question. So basically what they are telling, a charged particle is going around in a circular loop. It has some charge Q. How much is the charge they are giving? 100 times the charge of the electron. Now when a charged particle, be it electron or any other particle, going in a circular path, it is like a current loop. You have to always apply this, that is current loop. Now in this question, the formula to be used is therefore the circular formula. Now number of loops is only 1. The single loop that particle is going, so n is equal to be 1. So now the formula that you have to use is mu naught I divided by 2R. But I, how will you know I? I is nothing but a charge per unit time, right? In this case charge is given as 100 E. So charge is going around, it is whether going n number of times or one time. Here it is, we can take it as 1 for current. So it is 100 E ampere units. That is the current now. We have got the current. So just substitute in the formula mu naught into 100 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, the charge of the electron. Now this part, the whole part is the current now. Multiplying with mu naught divided by 2 into the radius of the path is given as 0.8 meters. So directly we can substitute as 0.8 meters. See, nicely it's cancelling actually, because 2 into 0.8 is 1.6. So it is cancelling. Right. 10 power 2 and 10 power minus 19 will cancel. 10 power minus 17 will come. So it is 10 power minus 17 into mu naught. If you check the answer, 10 power 17 into mu naught is choice 2. So second choice is the answer for the 35th question. Right. 36th question. In hydrogen atom, an electron is revolving in the orbit of radius 0.53 angstrom with the 6.6 into 10 power 15 rotation. See, imagine how fast the electron is going around in hydrogen atom per second. This is, can you imagine this? 6.6 into 10 power 15 rotations. So that is the frequency of rotation in hydrogen atom for the electron. And the orbital, first orbit in hydrogen atom, that is the distance between proton and electron. That is 0.53 into 10 power minus 10, because 0.53 angstrom. So 0.53 into 10 power minus 10 meters. Now what will be the magnetic field produced at the center of the orbit? That is the question. So there is a magnetic field because of the electron orbiting the proton in a hydrogen atom. That is the nucleus of the hydrogen atom. It is just a proton. There is no neutron in hydrogen atom. Remember this. So on the proton there will be a magnetic field due to the electron spinning around in the circular path in this case. So what is the magnetic field? That is what they are asking. So it is a single electron going around the proton in hydrogen atom in a circular loop, producing a current, and this current will have a magnetic effect at the center. What is the value they are asking? Now only trick is, it is not a one trip around the around the nucleus or around the proton. The electron is making n number of trips. So basically we have to take the time, right? So we want current first. Current is nothing but Q by T, we know. But here T is not directly given, because time for one circle, to make one circle, is not given, but frequency is given. Number of times it is going around is given. That is given in the question as 6.6 into 10 power 15 rotations per second. So 6.6 into 10 power 15 rotations per second. That is hertz. Unit is hertz. Frequency means per second is hertz. So this is the frequency. We want time t, which is nothing but the time for one rotation around the nucleus. That is capital T also, time period. So that is going to be 1 by frequency. Therefore this is equal to 1 divided by 6.6 into 10 power 15 hertz. This is small t. Okay. So current is therefore the charge, that is the electron charge Q, divided by this T, that is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 is the charge of the electron, divided by 1 by 6.6 into 10 power 15. So you have to take this to numerator. 1.6 into 6.6 into 10 power minus 19 plus 15. They will multiply to minus 4. This is the current. This is the current for the electron going around the nucleus in a circular path. So all we have to do is therefore calculate this. If you multiply these two, 1.6 into 6.6, you will get a 10.06 into 10 power minus 4. So we can write that as 1.06 into 10 power minus 3 amperes. So you can see a milliampere roughly this is equal to 1 milliampere. So electron going around the proton produces about a milliampere current in the on the nucleus, on the proton. Right. Now we got the current, so all we have to do is to substitute in the formula. Right. Therefore, we have to just substitute in the formula. This is a circular loop, so all we have to do is B is equal to mu naught I by N is equal to 1 only we are taking here. Right. So we have to write 2R. Formula is single loop, so it's 2R. So it is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 1.06 into 10 power minus 3 current divided by 2 into the radius of the path is given as 0.53 angstrom. So 0.53 into 10 power minus 10. Again, numerator minus 7 minus 3, so it is minus 10. So this can be cancelled, these two, along with the denominator minus 10. Now 2 into 0.53 is 1.06. So this is directly cancelling again with the numerator. So the answer is simply, what is this, 4 pi only? No, yeah, 4 pi only. So simply the answer is 4 pi. 4 pi, what is the unit? Tesla. So here in the choices, all our numbers are given. 36th question, if you see all our numbers, so you have to just convert this into a number. That is 4 into 3.142. That is 12.442, right? So 12.6 roughly, right? That's roughly 12.6. So in the answer it is therefore 12.5. Third choice is the correct one. Of course, Tesla is same as Weber per meter square. So choice 3 is the answer. 1 Tesla is 1 Weber per meter square. It is one of the 3 units for magnetic field that we have so far encountered. Right. Next question. The magnetic induction due to an infinitely long straight carrying wire, current I, distance R is, we know that formula, a long straight wire, so it is mu naught I by 2 pi R. Mu naught I by 2 pi R. So among the choices, mu naught is in the denominator in 3 and 4, rule out. Only 1 and 2 we have to focus. Mu naught by 4 pi 2 I R. R by 2I. I is in the denominator, cancel it. First choice is the answer straight away. Instead of 2I in the numerator and 2 pi in the denominator, they are given 2I and 4 pi. So 2 and 4 will cancel anyway, so you will get mu naught by 2 pi R. Mu naught I by 2 pi R. So that is the first choice. Answer is the first choice. Just a manipulation they have done. 38th question. 2 concentric circular coils of 10 turns each are situated in the same plane. Their radii are 20 and 40 centimeter and they carry this much current, 0.2 and 0.3 amperes in opposite directions. What is the magnetic field at the center of this? So what is the magnetic field at the center of this? So in the question, what they are giving is 2 concentric circles. So 2 concentric coils are there. Let us call the first coil. Of course 10 turns are there. We are not showing the 10 turns. And then second coil. Both have different radii. They are concentric. Common center is O, let us call this. What is the magnetic field at O due to these 2? Now current in one of the coils is given as 0.2 and the other is given as 0.3. Radius for both the coils are given. The radius are 20 centimeter and 40 centimeter. That is equal to 0.2 meters and 0.4 meters. Now circular loop formula only we have to apply. That is B is equal to mu naught Ni, because 10 turns both. They are given in the question as 10 turns. So mu naught Ni divided by 2 into R. So for the first case, it is going to be mu naught. N is common, so we will put a 10 into the current. Current here is, in the first case, it is given as 0.2 amperes. So 0.2 divided by 2 times the radius. So 2 into 0.2. The radius is only 20 centimeters they are given. So numerator denominator will cancel. You will get 5 mu naught for the first case. Second case, mu naught into 10 into 0.3 amperes current divided by 2 into 0.4. So you have 3 mu naught by 0.8, because 10 into this is 3 mu naught by 0.8. Or yeah, so you have to just subtract these two, because which one is higher in this? This is going to be 30 by 8. 30 by 8 is 8 by 10, so 30 by 8. 30 by 8 is 2.5, right? 2.5. Yeah, not 2.5. 30 by 8 is how much? 30 divided by 8. 3.75. So this is 3.75. And this is 5. So which one is higher? B1 is higher. B2 is smaller. So we have to effectively do B1 minus B2 to get the magnetic field at the center, which is equal to 5 minus 3.75 mu naught. So the answer is 1.25 mu naught. That is the answer for this. 1.25 mu naught is 5 by 4 mu naught. So choice is 4. Fourth choice is the answer. Right. 39th question. A vertical straight conductor carries a current vertically upwards. A point P lies to the east of it at a small distance, and another point Q lies to the west at the same distance. The magnetic field at P is how much? That is the question. Very simple one this is. So there is a vertical conductor. It is carrying a current I. Let us say this is pointing towards the northern direction. Now to the east and west at equal distance, what is the magnetic field they are asking? The magnetic field will be same only. Only the direction is different. One is going into the board, the other one is coming out of the board. But magnitude is same. So the answer is same as at Q. Second choice is the answer. Right. 40th question. If a current rod carries a direct current and a magnetic field associated with the current will be, see, if it is a wire, it is okay. For a thin wire, magnetic field will be outside only. But if it is a rod carrying current, there is an axis to the rod. So that will be magnetic field both inside as well as outside. P inside we can calculate and P outside we can calculate. So there will be magnetic field both inside and outside. That is the answer for this. Choice is 3. Right. 41st question. A charge Q coulomb moves in a circle at n revolutions per second. The radius of the circle R is R. Then the magnetic field at the center of the circle is how much? The magnetic field at the center of the circle is how much? So the question here is number of revolutions made is n. So current will contribute, current to the current it also will contribute, because otherwise it will divide by T. N is like frequency here. So current is Q by T. In the given choices T is not given, but yeah, they are given NQ. NQ is like Q by T. Remaining things are same. So third choice is the answer straight away. Mu naught. The formula, of course, we have mu naught Here slight modification is done. We know the current loop is B is equal to mu naught I by 2R. Here this is 4 pi into, if there are I is nothing but N into Q, because I is basically Q by capital T, small t or capital T, whatever you use, time period. This is time period is nothing but 1 by frequency. Frequency if you take as N, it is going to be NQ. I is NQ, so this is I. 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 also is there, so minus 7 divided by 2 into the radius R. So this is basically 2 pi NQ into 10 power minus 7 divided by R. So among the given choices, this is third one, 2 pi NQ by R into 10 power minus 7. Right. So 41st question, the answer is 3. 42nd one, a current I ampere flows in a circular arc. So the current is flowing in a circular arc. Radius is given as capital R. The angle that is subtended by the circular arc is 3 pi by 2, because outside angle is pi by 2. Pi by 2 and 90. So the remaining angle, inner angle must be therefore 270, that is 3 pi by 2 at the center. Now magnetic induction B at the center is very simple. Among all the choices, fourth choice directly is mu naught I by 4 pi R into beta. That formula we have to use. So if you use that formula for a circular arc, the magnetic field is mu naught I by 4 pi R into the beta. Mu naught I by 4 pi R into 3 pi by 2. Pi and pi will cancel. The remaining thing is mu naught I by 3 is there, 8R. So this is fourth choice. Right. 43rd question. A straight section PQ of a circuit lies along the x-axis from minus A by 2 to plus A by 2 and carries a steady current I. The magnetic field due to the section PQ at a point x is equal to plus A will be how much? How much it will be, Rakesh? How much magnetic field will be there? See, x is equal to minus A by 2, straight line. X is equal to plus A by 2. The length of the line is between these two. That is, length is A. A current is going through this. What will be the magnetic field at x is equal to A? That is the question. How much is the magnetic field? This is a straight wire carrying a current I. Magnetic field direction will be curling. ఇందాకనే చెప్పాను ఇది ఎలా ఉంటుందని కూడా. ఇక్కడ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది రాకేష్? మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది అక్కడ x ఈక్వల్ టు A లో? What will be the magnetic field at x is equal to A? Magnetic field at x is equal to A is 0. Come on. So many examples we have discussed now. You have to remember this. See, magnetic field will to the sides will be there. ఎందుకంటే పర్పెండిక్యులర్గా ఉంటుంది. కాయిల్ ఇప్పుడు స్ట్రైట్ వైర్ అయితే స్ట్రైట్ వైర్ రేడియలీ అవుట్వర్డ్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఉంటుంది, టాంజెన్షియల్గా మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఉంటుంది. ఎన్నిసార్లు చూసాం సర్కులర్ వైర్కి టాంజెన్షియల్గా మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఉంటుంది. రేడియస్ అక్కడ నుంచి తీసేసి అట్ ఎనీ పాయింట్ యూ కెన్ క్యాల్కులేట్. But when R is equal to 0, that is at the center along the axis, magnetic field B is 0. So the choice is, fourth choice is the answer for that. So B is equal to 0, 4. 43rd is 4. What 43rd is 4? Yeah, 43rd. Next, a helium nucleus makes a full rotation in a circle of radius 0.8 meter. Right? In 2 seconds. The value of magnetic field B at the center of the circle is. See here, nucleus alone is also making a rotation, not just the electron around the nucleus. Even nucleus is making a rotation. So what will be the magnetic field because of that? That is the question. These are real applications. Don't think it is some imaginary story they are telling. Nucleus is what is rotating. Nucleus is also rotating actually. So when we study later atomic physics, we will understand this. But here it is just given as it's a current loop. So a charge is going in a circular orbit. So current is produced. How much is the charge in helium nucleus? That is 2 times electron charge, because helium nucleus is He42. So this is the charge, atomic number. So it is 2e. Now current is due to this. Now only we saw that the formula to be used for this is, what is the formula to be used? B is equal to mu naught I. I is how much? I is 2e. That is 2e into number of revolutions. Number of revolutions here is given as the question 0.8 meter radius, one circle in 2 seconds. One circle in 2 seconds. That means one rotation it takes 2 seconds. We have to write number of revolutions per second. Per second it is a half rotation. So here we have to put a n is 0.5. So far we studied the formula, right? B is equal to mu naught nq by, right? Nq by 2r. This is the formula. So here mu naught into n is now 0.5 into charge is 2t, 2 times electron charge. Because helium has at the center also 2 electrons and at the center 2 protons. Here nucleus itself is revolving, so electron we need not even show in the problem. It is just the nucleus that is rotating in a circular orbit. The charge that is 2e plus 2e. Electron charge only, proton also has. 2 into the orbit radius is given as 0.8 meters. Now what is the magnetic field? That is the question. So 2 into 0.5 is 1, and this is 1.6. So mu naught into these two will cancel as 1. Electron charge is there, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 divided by 1.6 again. So these two will cancel. So mu naught into 10 power minus 19, that is the magnetic field in Tesla units. So the choice is second choice, B. Right. Next question, a solenoid of 1.5 meter length and 4 centimeter diameter possesses 10 turns per meter. A current of 5 amperes is flowing through it. The magnetic induction, direct application of the formula only. So it is basically solenoid formula, which is B is equal to mu naught Ni, which is equal to mu naught capital Ni divided by the length, and the length is also given, so you have to use it, right? So basically mu naught is, we can take it as such, or 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into the number of turns. In this case is given as, for the solenoid, number of turns is 10, current is 5, right? So number of turns is 10, current is 5 amperes divided by the length. The length of the solenoid is given as 1.5 meter length. Radius is not required, they are given, but it is 1.5 meter length. So it is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 50 divided by 1.5 is 3 by 2. So 2, if you take numerator, it is becoming 100. 100 and 10 power minus 7 is 10 power minus 5. So this much you can do manipulation, right? And how much you can do further? What is the choice given here? 4 pi 2 pi into 10 power minus 5. 2 pi by 3 we are getting, right? So 2 pi by 3. It is not given in choices. Not ni by L, right? So number of turns is 10 only. 10 turns per centimeter. It's not meter. We have to convert into meter. So basically, number of turns is given in centimeter. So small n is given in 10 turns per centimeter. If you convert into meter, that is equal to 10 power 2 you have to multiply. 10 into 10 power 2 turns per meter. So denominator you will have a 10 power 2 additionally. Right. Then length is there. But see, number of turns per centimeter we are directly converting. So we don't have to even use the length separately. Length also can be ignored because already here we are taking small n directly. So even this formula where directly we can use. So we don't have to even use the denominator because of that. So it is not there. Because we are taking already number of turns per meter. So it is 4 pi into 10 power. No, let us redo it again. Directly we will apply the formula. Therefore mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into number of turns per meter is 10 power 3, right? Into current is 5. This much if you do, it is okay, because now it is 4 pi into 5 is 20 pi. 20 pi into 10 power minus 4 or 2 pi into 10 power minus 3. This is the answer. 2 pi into 10 power minus 3. First choice. 45, choice 1 is the answer. Right. 46th question. A short conductor of length 4 cm is placed parallel to the long conductor of length 2 meter near to its center at a distance of 2 cm. The conductors are carrying current 2 amperes and 5 amperes in opposite directions. Find the total force exerted on the long conductor. So we have to use force between two conductors formula for this. So what basically they are giving is, there is a short conductor which is only 4 cm in length. There is a long conductor close to the center of the short conductor, and length of the long conductor is 2 meters. Now the distance between the two conductors is given as 2 cm. So they are very close to each other, 2 cm. Now one of them is carrying current 2 amperes. The other one is carrying current 5 amperes. Now what is the force on the long conductor? We have a formula for force per unit length. Force between two conductors per unit length of the conductor is equal to mu naught I1 by I2 divided by 2 pi r. This is the formula. So here mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into current is 2 amperes in one conductor. Current in another conductor is 5 ampere divided by 2 pi into r is the distance between the two conductors, which is 2 centimeters. So 2 into 10 power minus 2 meters. This is force divided by the length of the conductor. Length of the second conductor, because long conductor they want force, so that is 2. So F by 2. We want F. So F is equal to, here direct cancellations we will do first. 4 pi, 2 pi we can cancel, get 2. 2 and denominator 2 will cancel. 10 power minus 7, 10 power minus 2. So it is 10 power minus 5. 2 into 5 is 10. So this is 10 power minus 4. So force is nothing but 2 into 10 power minus 4 Newton. Right? 10 power minus 7, right? So it's 2 into 10 power minus 4 Newton. Because force per unit length is given as 2 meters only, so it is okay. Here also we have done it. Yeah, so I think it's okay. So the answer for this is 46th question, right? So it is 2 into 10 power minus 4 Newton, right? 47th question. 47th is a current of 1 ampere is flowing along the sides of an equilateral triangle of side 4.5 centimeter. Find the magnetic field at the centroid of the triangle. So we have an equilateral triangle. The current is given. It is flowing in a loop. At the centroid, what is the magnetic field? This is the question. We can if you don't remember the formula, we have to calculate for 3 line segments. A, B, C, if you take as vertices, we have to take total B at the center is B due to segment AC plus B due to segment AB plus B due to segment BC. You have to add and get it. But since we have direct formula, we can directly apply that formula to this, and that is 9 mu I by 2 pi L. That is the formula we derived for B. So B is equal to 9 mu naught I by 2 pi L, where length is the side 2 pi L. Length of the side is 2 pi L. So we can get 9 into 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into the current. Current is given here as 1 ampere only. L is 4.5 centimeter. So current is 1 ampere, 1 divided by 2 pi into length 4.5 centimeter. So I am writing it in meters here. So now what are the things that will cancel? 2 pi, 4 pi will get a 2. 9, 4.5 will get a 2. 10 power minus 7, 10 power minus 2 will get a 10 power minus 5. So here 4 into 10 power minus 5 Tesla. This is the magnetic field at the centroid of this triangle. So if you remember this formula, how easy it is. Otherwise, you know what to do. You have to add, separately calculate and add. So if you can remember this, it's a straightforward problem. That is why I've been telling you all the formula. You make a table, look at the table every day for 10 days. Then you will not forget any of the formula till the end. That is the only way to train yourself for this. Right. The next question. Calculate the magnetic field at a distance of 10 centimeter along the axis of a circular coil of radius 10 centimeter, carrying a current of 2 amperes. The number of turns is 50. Rahul, what is the formula for this? 48th question. Rahul? It's not there. Rahul, formula చెప్పు. మైక్ ఆన్ చేసి ఆపేశాడు. రాహుల్, సరే ఇప్పుడు చెప్పు. వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఫార్ములా ఫర్ దిస్? నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ చూసావు కదా, స్ట్రైట్ క్వశ్చన్ కదా అది. వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఫార్ములా? 48th క్వశ్చన్. Tejaswini, what is the formula? Kirti unda. Kirti, what is the formula? What is the formula, Kirti? What is this? It is a circular coil, right? Number of turns are given. And magnetic field at a distance 10 centimeter along the axis of a circular coil. They are asking along the axis. Sushrita, what is the formula? Very good, very good. So that is a formula, straight application of the formula. So you will directly get the answer. So all you have to remember is the formula. So it is a circular coil. They are asking the magnetic field at a point on the axis at a distance. So this is the distance, x or z or whatever you want to call this. You can use the word, whatever symbol you want to use. This is r. The formula therefore is B is equal to mu naught. Number of turns is given, so n I radius square r square divided by 2 into x square or z square plus r square power 3 by 2. So if you use this formula, whatever is answer given in the key, you will get that. All you have to do is manipulation. So maybe those of you who cannot do that, I am just again showing this. Number of turns is given as 50, I think. Current is given as how much is the current given here? Current is given as 2 amperes. Okay, 10 centimeter, 10 centimeter. Oh. So the current is given as 2 amperes. So current is 2. Radius is 10 centimeter. So it is 0.1 meter. So 0.1 square r square divided by 2 into 0.1 square plus radius also is 10 centimeter. So 0.1 square whole power 3 by 2. So B is equal to, see, 50 into 2 is 100. So if you cancel directly here also, you will be having 10 power minus 5. 4 pi and 2, if you cancel, you will have 2 pi. This is again 10 power minus 1 square. So it is 10 power minus 2. So again you will get 10 power minus 5, 7 only. So 2 pi into 10 power minus 7 divided by, this is 10 power minus 1 square, 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 2, so 2 into 10 power minus 2 whole power 3 by 2. Right. So this can be simplified as 2 pi into 10 power minus 7 divided by 2 power 3 by 2, that is 2 root 2 into 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 2 power 3 by 2. So if you cancel again 10 power minus 4 you will get, if you cancel this you will get pi. So pi by root 2 into 10 power minus 4 magnetic field units is Tesla induction. So this is the answer you are getting. Right, this is for the 40. Yeah. 8th question. Right. 49th. What is the resultant magnetic field at the origin due to 4 infinite length wires if each wire produces magnetic field B at the origin? So basically we can have 4 wires like this at the origin. So we can draw a plane and we can imagine 4 wires are going through the plane. Now let's say this is the origin. Now what is the magnetic field due to all the 4 wires at the center O or origin O? That is the question. Now current here is, first wire is, let us say, I, and another one is also I, and 2 other wires current is going down. So it is 2 and this one also going, that is, let's call this 4, let us call this 1, let us call this 3. So if two currents are going up and two currents are going down like this in 4 wires, then what is the magnetic field at the origin? That is the question. Simple. For the wire due to 1, first wire, current is going up. If you curl it, the magnetic field direction is to the right for the origin point. Similarly, for the second wire due to 2, if you put the thumb in the current direction and curl it, the magnetic field direction is in this direction. And all are along the plane, on the plane only. Not above the plane or below the plane. Remember, all are on the plane I am doing. On the plane, on the plane. Plane మీదనే ఇది. Plane perpendicular current ఉంటే magnetic field should be on the plane. So we are writing B due to 1, direction alone. B due to 1, B due to 2. Similarly for due to 3, due to 3 if you write, again third wire చూస్తే current is going up, magnetic field will be to the right, because you have to hold it like with your thumb is in the current direction, then curling the fingers, 4 fingers will be pointing to the right at O, this is at O, all are we are writing at O, origin. So finally due to 4, again if you do, current is going down, magnetic field is going to curl, that is like 2, this is going to be like 2. So 2, 1 and 3 are in the same direction, 2 and 4 are in the same direction. So net magnetic field, we need not even calculate the magnetic field. They are telling the magnetic field due to each wire is B. B, 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 B. What is the net magnetic field due to all the 4 B's at the origin? Let us call that B net. That is equal to square root of, because we are taking modulus of the 4 vectors. So 2 vectors are in one direction, they are 1 and 3. So B1 plus B3 whole square plus 2 and 4 are in one direction, so B2 plus B4 vectors whole square. This is the modulus for the combined resultant vector. So that will be square root of B plus B is 2B, 2B whole square is 4B square. Similarly here also 4B square. So it is square root of 8B square, which is 4 into 2B, which is 2B square rather. So this is 2 into root 2B. So this is the net magnetic field at the origin due to all the 4 wires. So that is the answer for this. Right. So 50th question. A circular coil of radius R carries a current I. In the class, I think we discussed this is 1/8 if you have to do. That is magnetic field at the center and at the axis we have to compare. At the axis it is 1/8 of the distance. What is the magnetic field? Therefore, that is the question. What is the distance at which this will happen? So basically, there is a circular coil. The magnetic field at the center B, let us call that BC, B center. At a point along the axis, let us call this B axis A. Now we have to compare, because they are telling BA is 1/8 of BC. At what x this will happen? That is this x they are asking. How much distance this will happen? This one we discussed already. 2 formulas we have to compare. Axis formula we know mu naught n I radius square divided by 2 into x square plus r square power 3/2. That is equal to 1/8 of mu naught n I by 2r. So common things if you cancel, that is if you cancel mu naught ni and 2 and 2, remaining you will have 1/8r. 1/8r is equal to 1 by x square plus r square power 3/2. So all you have to do is, another r square is there here in the numerator. So just to sort out the terms and find x, you will get root 3 into r. Because first what you will do, 8r cube. 8r cube is equal to this side will be there. You will take a cube root on both sides. Then you will do square. You will get this. X is equal to root 3r. This already we discussed, so please check it again. Check the calculations. You will get this. So, overall I would say that it is a easy simple question paper, but only thing is you have to remember the formula, how to apply it. Many of you are not doing that. Your first table, I don't know how many of you actually made the table. Again I am stressing, please make the table, otherwise you cannot do this. Tejaswini, mic off cheyalama, sound vastundi. Right. So now we will discuss one or two applications on again Ampere's law also. Because we started Ampere's law, some application we can do, because we know that Ampere's law makes things very simple compared to Biot-Savart law. So whatever applications we have done so far, all are Biot-Savart law application. So we have to use the direct formula there, and if needed we have to do integration and all. But Ampere's law is somewhat very simple. We other day we discussed the basics of it. That is, we are integrating what is called the line integral of the magnetic field around a closed loop. This is on the left side, is equal to mu naught times the current enclosed by the circular loop. That means you have a circular loop of any shape. I am taking a circular loop. You can even have any loop, any other loop also. Loop of any shape you can take. The magnetic field, due to any perpendicular current element, any current element or wire passing perpendicular to this loop, you have to take what is called B dot dl. That is tangent direction, magnetic field direction. In the same direction you are taking an element of the wire, that is dl. So a small element you are taking dl, and magnetic field direction also happens to be parallel to that. So you are taking B dot dl, and this particular B dot dl alone is called circulation. So in many problems they will mention this word, the circulation. What is the circulation, like that. So this is called circulation of the magnetic field. So all that Ampere law tells me is the circulation of the magnetic field is equal to mu naught times the current enclosed by the loop. Right. So this is the essence of whole of Ampere's law. This also is called as Ampere's circuital law. Ampere's circuital law. Circuital law, or simply Ampere's law, ACL. Right. Based on this, a lot of applications we can do. Some simple applications we will start with first, so that we know how to apply the law. Then we will proceed further. First question you see, very simple one. Two wires carry currents of I amperes and 10 amperes. See, 10 ampere is current is going up, 5 ampere current is going down. Both the current wires are perpendicular to the plane of the circular loop, but in opposite directions. Now calculate the magnetic field due to these two wires at a distance of 1 meter away from them using Ampere's law. That is the question. So you can clearly see that I am taking a line from the center of the two wires, from the midpoint of the two wires, and I am constructing what is called as an Amperian loop. So this circular loop is called as Amperian loop. That is like our Gaussian surface that we constructed in our electrostatics problems. In magnetism, therefore, the equivalent is the Ampere's law. So we are constructing an imaginary line or a loop around the two current wires, because I want to calculate the magnetic field due to these two current wires at a point which is 1 meter away from both the wires. Now the wires are very close. We don't know even what is the distance between the two wires and all. All we know is we want the combined effect of the two wires at a point 1 meter away. Combined effect means combined magnetic field due to both the current carrying wires at a distance 1 meter away from the two wires. So Ampere's law, very simple application is C, very simple. All I have to do is I have to draw an Amperian loop, circulate around both the wires 1 and 2. Once I draw the Amperian loop, I have to take B dot dl. To get B, I have to take B dot dl. If it is a circular loop, I know the path length, because if I integrate dl, I will get the circumference of the circle. Since B is constant at a given distance from the wire and the distance is given as 1 meter, I can take B out of the integral. So first I will construct this Amperian loop, which is a loop, and I will write the Ampere's law. B dot dl is equal to mu naught I enclosed. This is the Ampere's law. So first I am writing that. Once I have written that, constant is B dot dl, but I enclosed is how much here? We have to first do that right side also. Right side mu naught is constant, but I enclosed is incoming current, outgoing current. We have to see both. That is, current upwards is generally taken as positive, current downwards is negative. So current upwards is, in this case you see, 10 amperes. So 10 minus current downwards is 5. So 5. 10 minus 5. That is 5 amperes effectively. So I enclosed is 5 amperes. And right side, therefore, you have to multiply that with mu naught, which is mu naught I enclosed. So 5 mu naught. Left side, what is there? Left side, B dot dl will be there. B is constant, so you are taking it out. Integration of dl, that is, you are taking a small segment of this loop, right? So you are taking a small segment in this loop, that is dl, and you are integrating over a circular loop of radius 1 meter, because you are constructing an Amperian loop of radius, Amperian loop. Right, of radius 1 meter, because they are asking at distance of 1 meter. So you want magnetic field at a distance of 1 meter. So your Amperian loop also you are constructing at a distance of 1 meter. So what you are doing is, therefore you want B, therefore B can be taken out, and the remaining thing, this part is integrated. If you integrate dl over a circular path, you will get the circumference, which is 2 pi r. So your integral dl in this case is 2 pi r. R is 1 meter radius, so it is 2 pi only. So your integral is 2 pi. So B into 2 pi into 1 radius is equal to 5 into mu naught. This mu naught into current enclosed. Therefore, B is equal to 5 divided by 2 pi. 5 mu naught divided by 2 pi. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 5 divided by 2 pi. 2 pi, 4 pi will cancel. You will get a 2. 2 into 5 you will get a 10. 10 into 10 power minus 7 you will get a 10 power minus 6. So 10 power minus 6 is micro Tesla. So magnetic field in this case is 1 micro Tesla. That is the answer. Right, so this is how you have to apply Ampere's law for a given situation. But again, you have to remember that just like Gauss's law, Ampere law cannot also be applied to various situations. Ampere's law can be applied only to certain specific situations where the symmetry permits. Okay, so see, Gauss law we applied to what different symmetries? Gauss law we can apply only to spherical symmetry, cylindrical symmetry, and planar symmetry. Planar, that is sheet of charge. If there is a sheet of charge, okay. There is a sphere, then you can apply. Then there is a cylindrical charge, then you can apply. Cylindrical charge or wire or whatever it is, you can apply for all those things. Cylinder. So sphere, cylinder and sheet you were able to apply Gauss law. Similarly, Ampere's law also, there are cases where you can apply it. I will tell you what are the cases anyway. But something similar to Gauss law only here also. See, here you are applying to a wire. That is like a cylinder only anyway. So you can apply to all cylindrical symmetries. For example, you can apply to solenoid. Then you can apply to even a toroid. What is a toroid? It is like a donut shape. That is like this. Imagine this to be like a vada. Right? It is like a vada shape, donut or donut. So this donut shaped also you can use this Ampere's law, because here also current can go through this and magnetic field will be curling around this. That is called toroid. So these are the special shapes to which you can apply Ampere's law. So from tomorrow we will again, tomorrow and day after also, I think we can do some applications only on Ampere's law for different possibilities, and when we have to derive even magnetic field due to a toroid also. Solenoid already we derived using Biot-Savart law. Now we will try to do it with Ampere's law. Then we will do for toroid also. Some applications we have to study. Maybe today I will stop here. Tomorrow we will do some more basic problems on Ampere's law, and then we will proceed to doing some of these derivations. Okay, so I will stop here today. Who is Vivek? Somebody is using Vivek. Vivek evaradi? Hey, who is Vivek?